Five-year-old Charlotte May Pierstorff was bundled up for the cold winter morning when she boarded the Camas Prairie Railroad mail car in Grangeville, Idaho. May, as she was known, had hard candy and a big red apple in her hands and 53 cents worth of stamps pinned to her coat. The blonde-haired, blue-eyed little girl was classified as a baby chicken for freight purposes and shipped alive through the United States Postal System by Parcel Post on February 19, 1914. The U.S. Postal Service introduced domestic parcel post on January 1, 1913. This was a significant innovation of the 20th century, especially for millions of rural Americans who could now get goods delivered to their mailboxes and doorsteps. Prior to this, parcel transactions had to be done from a nearby town large enough to have a private delivery company. Unlike the standard rates set by the government parcel service, these companies had varying prices, which could add significantly to the shipping cost. Initially, packages could weigh no more than 4 pounds. However, due to the service's popularity, it was soon raised to a 50-pound limit. This cleared the way for the shipment of produce, eggs, snakes, coffins, and even a bank building, 50 pounds of bricks at a time. Crafty, or some might say innovative parents, noticed that there were no provisions in the parcel post regulations prohibiting the mailing of humans, specifically their children. Concerned about stories of children being shipped as parcels, on February 13, 1914, the U.S. Parcel Post Service decreed,
"All human beings and animals are barred through the mail, except queen bees."
The latter are still allowed because of their agricultural significance today. The new regulation did not immediately stop the mailing of children. Day-old poultry was also included in a list of acceptable parcels. This helped set the stage for May to be classified as a baby chicken and mailed just 6 days after the decree. Practices differed between towns, depending upon how their postmaster interpreted the regulations. Like other parcels, May was weighed to see if she was under the 50-pound parcel weight limit. With her suitcase, the scale read 48 1/2 pounds. She was then categorized for cargo as a baby chicken and stamped for delivery to Lewiston, Idaho. May rode in the mail car with Leonard, her mother's cousin, who was a railway postal clerk. At the time, her destination was 75 miles away. The steel rails meandered through rugged, mountainous terrain with few roads. Mailing the child to her grandmother was cheaper than a Camas Prairie Railroad passenger ticket, which cost $1.55. This was beyond the family's means because it was equivalent to her father's full day's pay. The excited parcel was delivered to her grandmother's house for a visit around noon. Other children were mailed during this period. 7 times between 1913 and 1915, according to the National Postal Museum. May wasn't the first, but she is the most famous. Children were not shoved into a canvas sack with the other packages. Instead, they were accompanied by the mail carriers, who were often friends, neighbors, or family members. News outlets at the time reported that some of the children slept through the entire trip, ate candy, and smiled when the curious townfolk waved at them. Most children were mailed short distances. In January 1913, the Beagles mailed their infant son, weighing 10 3/4 pounds, to Grandma's house 1 mile away in Batavia, Ohio, because it was too cold to walk. They paid 15 cents in postage and an unknown amount to insure him for $50. The Minden Courier newspaper reported,
The package was well wrapped and ready for mailing when the carrier got it.
some children were mailed much farther. In March 1915, 6-year-old Edna Neff, who weighed just under the 50-pound limit, was mailed from Pensacola, Florida, to Christiansburg, Virginia, 720 miles away, for 50 cents worth of stamps. Another child, Julia Cohen, arrived in New Lexington, Ohio, bearing a tag which had been placed on her by the New York immigration officials. After a breakfast supplied by the postmaster, the rural delivery carrier took the 8-year-old girl to her father's home 6 miles south of town. Julia's 7,000-mile trip from Bavaria in southeastern Germany was taken by her alone. On February 22, 1914, the San Francisco Examiner published tongue-in-cheek instructions about how mail clerks should care for their special parcels.
To mail clerks, railway service. Babies by parcel post should be fed every 4 hours at expense of clerks. Do not stick stamps on baby's face. All railway mail clerks must pass an examination to qualify in the art of dressing babies, and also in the knowledge of handling safety pins. Feeding is optional, but it is not advised to give babies frankfurters or boiled dinners. Babies sent by parcel post must be delivered to someone at address. Do not leave them on front doorsteps or in the mailboxes in rural districts. If addressee refuses to accept such mail, wire Postmaster General for instructions.
Names, shipping address tags, and stamps were commonly attached to the children's arms and clothing.
Fargo, North Dakota, August 23, 1915. Railroad officials here are glad that the limit of dimensions and weight for parcel post packages are not great enough to include adult human beings, and while they are not worrying, they are, nevertheless, wondering when the practice of sending children in the state is going to stop.
Most of the photographs of mail carriers with local babies in parcel sacks were staged and never commissioned by the U.S. Postal Service. The last journey of a child by the U.S. Parcel Service appears to be that of 3-year-old Maud Smith in August 1915 from her grandparents in Kentucky to her mother 40 miles away. Maud wore a pink dress to which was sewn a shipping tag and covered with 33 cents worth of stamps. In 1920, the first Assistant Postmaster General rejected 2 applications to mail children because he believed they couldn't be classified as, quote, harmless live animals, unquote. In Idaho, the Emmett Index newspaper, March 26, 1914 edition, told young May's story under the heading, Innovations. The story began with the claim,
The contention that there's nothing new under the sun receives in these constructive days an occasional severe jolt. This, for instance, is an example of parcel post adaptability.
The entry closed by saying,
The next thing we may reasonably hope for, and expect, will be conversation through space without telephones, and groceries delivered by wireless.